This is The Breakfast Stable.
Good morning and welcome to The Breakfast Stable. My name is Jack Muller, and as always, with me today, and once again in full view of everyone in all their grandeur and glory, are my stable mates. I'm going to attempt the Brady Bunch hello by saying first hello to Pete Hilke. I hope you're up there. I've got my spot right with you.
G'day, Jack. How are you, mate? You're looking good. I hope that is you down there.
I don't know if we're doing the Brady Bunch thing overly well, but anyway, we're going to attempt it. And I'm also then going to say hello to Catherine Savazio, who I hope is there on your screen. And I'm also going to say hello to Helen Reiser, who I think is over there.
Oh, look, there she is. Hi, Helen.
I don't know if we got any of that right, but as usual, it's wonderful to see you guys. We've had another, big week in isolation. Can you say another big week in isolation? We've just survived another week of isolation. And I think just like everyone, we're sort of starting to count the weeks down to hopefully what will be maybe the middle of May, when we can all maybe start to get out a little bit more. But I hope everyone is well and everyone's fighting fit, and all your families are doing well and we've all been safe.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, it is definitely good to see you. So, no, we're all surviving, I think, and I think we can safely say that everyone, I think, is doing a great job. And, you know, this weekend, I think being Anzac Day weekend is a good time for reflection as well. So, again, while we might think that we're doing it tough, I think this weekend more so than any is a great reflection about how, you know, other amazing, brave Australians before us went off to protect this nation, and, you know, all we're being asked to do is stay at home to protect the nation. So I think it helps to put those sorts of things in perspective, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So
100%.
yeah. So I think, you know, the tough thing that I'm facing, the fact that I didn't get to go to the Anzac Day game with my daughter Grace, which was our annual thing that we do together, but it's a small sacrifice when you think about where we're at, hopefully in the coming months and weeks, getting everyone back on track again. So, you know, it's tough, but we also thank all those amazing people in our defence personnel who are ready to stand by and defend this country. So it's, you know, we're pretty lucky really where we are, don't you think?
Absolutely. We actually had a beautiful tribute this morning where we live in a gated community area, and this gorgeous man came and played the bagpipes at a certain time, and the residents were able to come outside their homes and actually pay tribute. So it was just a really, really lovely gesture. Wow. And I just wanted to say too, like my heart, and I'm sure everyone's does, really goes out to the families and loved ones of the 4 officers that were tragically killed just around the corner from where I am in Melbourne a couple of days ago. So, I mean, there's a lot of people making sacrifices, and the small one that we're making by staying home and trying to keep our nation safe is just that. It's just so small in comparison.
Yeah, no, it is. And it is tough. I mean, my father was a policeman, and so I can certainly sympathise greatly with those families who every day they go off to work, and you always have that worry that they're going to be faced with, you know, real danger. So, yeah, our hearts certainly go out to them. So, but we are going to get on with our show this morning, and we want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in last week, because it was great to have all your comments and say that you were happy to see us back on air in this capacity, and it was really fun to see some of the lovely comments and see all the views that we had from last week's show. So thank you so much. But as usual, never a week goes by without anything ridiculous or funny going on in my world with my family. So I had to tell you about poor old John and Mary, Mum and Dad, as you guys all know, are very avid viewers and watchers of our show and listeners of our show every week.
They're like our number 1 fans.
Yeah, they're the number 1 ticket holders for the Breakfast Table. They've been getting, you know, as a lot of us are, you know, searching through our email, cleaning out our inboxes. And Mum spoke to me during the week. They had a scam email sort of, you know, come through for them from Bitcoin, apparently, who were demanding money from Mum and Dad. And the scam was that if Mum and Dad didn't pay $2,000 into Bitcoin, whatever, .com or whatever the hell the domain was, that apparently they were going to release a pornographic video of Mum and Dad.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
And of course, so porn.
Well,
And there's
no,
people
so
that know that's a scam because that just hasn't happened in my lifetime. I'm one of those people. But I'm sure your mum and dad are in that category too.
well, they were just like, I said to Mum, I could just imagine you going, oh John, the Bitcoin people have sent us an email and said that if we don't pay them $2,000, they're going to release a pornographic video of us online. And Dad's response was, oh, can they send me a copy?
Well, that's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
And all Mum could think of was like, oh, I do hope they put my head on a good body. That was all she was worried about.
Oh, bless.
They are adorable.
They are so funny. I'm like, seriously, you two don't even have to leave the house and stuff if it happens to you. So.
Well, I got a
They've been
message
at it
this
again.
morning from my sister that my mum is now on Messenger. Lord help us. So I'm just not sure what's going to happen now. I don't know if
What
she
she's
needs to be on
gonna
there.
send you.
But
Wild world we live.
oh gosh.
Now, Pete, you've actually been busy this morning. You've actually been able to get out and about, but for a very good cause. Do you want to tell us a bit about what's going on?
Yeah, so pretty much, look, as we know, no one can go to restaurants. Now, all the hospo workers, as we like to call hospitality workers, majority, basically 90% of them are probably off. Haven't got any work. So down at Clam Seafoods in Yarraville, so it's 2 Somerville Road in Yarraville, every Saturday morning from now on between 9 and 12, Clam Seafoods are giving away seafood packs. So you get some, it could be some frozen chips, a fillet of fish, and a bottle of wine, and just even a little packet of fresh sardines, for example. And Ian Curley was there this morning. He made the soup. We were down there, basically putting the soup up, the croutons with a bit of aioli and a bit of fennel on top. But we're doing that every Saturday morning. It's to help the hospitality workers out. They get all this for free. It's a great initiative.
Yeah.
And it's something to, they give the hospitality workers and everyone in that area, and even including doctors and nurses, I understand all this, but everyone gives so much over time. When a time like this hits, to actually give back to them and help them out, and especially by giving them free seafood, free goods, it works and it's beautiful. So Clam Seafood,
wonderful.
Yeah. So if you're a hospitality worker, get down to 2 Somerville Road in Yarraville every Saturday morning between 9 and 12. You'll see us all down there. And
so is that all
the general public get involved and actually go and buy these packs to support anybody, or what? Can we do anything to support? No. Okay, fine.
Shut up, Catherine. What are you talking about?
Okay.
So basically, all this is just for the hospitality workers who have been
all right.
without
I
a
understand
job.
now. Okay.
Right? They can go down.
I'm just trying to help.
Oh no! I mean, look, you can do. I mean, look, we can talk about this.
No, I just thought in general, if the idea is purely just to give away these packs to those who have been affected in the hospo industry, then absolutely,
Yeah. Oh, look, absolutely. Because I mean, at the end of the day, and it was great to see them all come through this morning, and the gratitude is off the charts because they walk in, they get this seafood pack. It's almost like walking into the soup Nazi. Because you got King Oris Salmon, the guy from Clean Seas, I'm from Humpty Doo, you got Ian Curley sitting over there who's done the soup, and we're just saying, no more for you. Go.
That's what you say if we turn up, right?
Yes, exactly. Catherine turns up to get some soup. She's going to get cut off. No, that's a great initiative, Pete. That's really terrific. And I know that there are a lot of people who are donating a lot of goods and their time with different, as you say, with healthcare workers, different other organisations around the city, where people are, trying to help out as best they can to sort of keep everyone, moving forward. And, that is, and hopefully when all the restaurants and the bars do get to open up, that a lot of these jobs will be filled again very quickly. So Hopefully some of those proprietors will be able to just hire back their staff again, because, you know, you can imagine having to hire back new staff, having to retrain everybody, having to get their systems back on. You know, you would hope that at some point a majority of the staff can go back to where they've worked before and people can just get back into it and get up and running as quickly as possible.
And look, that's going to take a long time. I already know of one really, really high profile restaurant. I won't name it. They won't be reopening. There will be 40% of Melbourne's restaurants will not be opening on the other side of this. It's really starting to, the people that are very authentic in business, they will come out the other end. The ones that aren't completely straight, I can tell you what, they won't be coming back in. And
we're all going to be demanding to go out too. I mean, it's going to be hard to get a table, let's be honest, because everyone, as soon as we can, is going to be out every weekend.
Well, I mean, just on that, Jack, Zomato have really come up with a great initiative. So we talk about restaurants coming back, aiming to trade it towards the end of the year. Contactless dining. Get used to it, people, because this is going to revolutionize the way we eat, the way we go out. So basically, you will walk into a restaurant. There'll be a QR code on your table. You will scan it with your phone. The menu will come up on the phone. Then you will choose what you want, and you actually put your order in, which will go through the point of sale system to the kitchen or to another point of sale system.
They use this in Asia. I know that it's been like that for several years. So it's wonderful that they're actually bringing it here. It's convenient.
Yeah. Look, Zomato are out there. They've really put this initiative together to take it out. The great thing is, and so once you actually finish your meal, you pay for it via your phone. So there is no contact made with anybody. You don't have to go up and push an iPad and put your number in, because everything's done from your own phone. Yeah. What it does for the restaurant, which is absolutely fantastic, hygiene, number one. There'll be hand sanitizers around the place. They'll clean the tables and the chairs down with sanitizer. But the great thing is, it gives all the staff a sense of mind, a peace of mind, just to know that, you know, they are safe. The tables will be 1 meter apart. So it's going to take a long time for those tables that are 1 meter to come close again. They may never do.
The only problem I've got with that is because of my ridiculous dietary requirements being pescatarian, gluten-free, is if I've got no waiter at the table who's taking my order, where I can be a bit more discreet about, oh, look, can I have that on gluten-free bread, and instead of the bacon, can have no bacon, and instead of the poached, I'm going to be screaming at the kitchen, like from where I'm sitting.
Those options to make those changes in your phone.
I hope so.
Dietary requirements they're so common now. There's so many people that are intolerant of certain things or have allergies. So I think that's going to become more and more mainstream.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think
so the only contact is when they actually bring the food to the table, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think the initiative of Zomato, and it's really supporting the industry to let them bounce back as quick as possible, because I can tell you right now, there will no longer be big group tables of people. And that's the one thing that we all have to now adapt to, a new way of life. And that's the great thing about it. You can either sit back and embrace it, or sit back and just whinge, but just move on, be positive and enjoy it, smile, laugh. And that's it from me. I love you all.
I think that we'll all just be so happy to go out again. I don't think it'll matter that we can't go out in groups of 10 for the moment, at least. I think we'll just be happy if it means that we can all go out in a group of 2 or 3. And I mean, I'll be just happy when I can have my family over. I mean, I'm hoping that by Mother's Day, you know, I can have my mum over for dinner. That's my big goal at the moment. That's what I'm hoping, that we can all have at least people within our friends and close loved ones in our home and cook for them again.
Yes.
And you know, Pete, and obviously Catherine being a foodie as well, and Helen, you've got kids, you know, being able to have people in your home and your friends where you can prepare and enjoy their company with your own home. It would be a massive lift, I think, to everyone's, you know, emotional and psychological well-being.
Well, Helen and I were fortunate enough to be able to do a beautiful long distance walk over the weekend. And even though we were social distancing, there's a lot of people that are still wanting to get out. It's been a beautiful weekend. So I think, you know, more and more as we're able to just come to terms with the new normal, we'll get by. And it's just about, you know, adapting what you do to suit the climate and, you know, taking into consideration the way we need to do it, which is going to be a little bit different for a while.
Yeah, yeah. So, Catherine, I mean, you've had, again, you're still working, you know, your week's busy, you know, you're still adapting your business. How have you spent this week in terms of that?
Look, I think for us, I think we've turned the corner, and I can see that there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. As I mentioned last week, you know, in the first week or two, there was an absolute, you know, critical kind of, you know, where are we? What's going on? And how can we manage with everything? But I think in the last couple of weeks, I'm definitely going into the office every day and working harder and longer than I ever have, which is kind of fun. Everything from sweeping to packing orders and doing everything. So getting right back to the coal face, or the grassroots of the business, which is really lovely. Having that interaction with the consumers directly, you know, myself with the customers. So that's great. But I have seen that there's been like, we've got new online order, you know, stockists, if you like, not just from Australia, but also from Hong Kong through the week. And that's like a massive boost for a small business. So one order could be, you know, your whole month's normal sales when you're exporting. To see exports starting to open up and sales starting to pick up again is just wonderful. The face masks that I had last week that I showed, those gorgeous fun fabric face masks, you know, we've had orders from as far as the USA for those. Now they're going directly to consumers, but it's just staying relevant. So because we're in that sort of health and well-being, and we've got, you know, natural cotton fabrics, and we've got family kind of products, we're able to use those to, I suppose, leverage and stay relevant in the industry. But we're not, like Helen was talking about before, we're not sort of doing something that's outside of our normal industry. We're still within the industry and being able to cater to these new requirements, I suppose, that people are looking for. And we've even we've got gorgeous little sanitizers coming. And I've got to say, like, as a skincare specialist, my hands are just ruined, you know, from all the washing and sanitizing. So I've been using the balm probably 3 or 4 times a day. Just it's sort of a beeswax oily type base, just to massage in between the fingers. Actually, it's down here where I'm seeing not only myself, but a lot of people complaining about super dry skin and even dermatitis. So I think, you know, it's really important for people to keep their hands moisturized and hydrated with preferably non-petrochemical or silicone-based, but natural vegetable oil-based emulsifiers and moisturizers. But look, I have seen some light at the end of the tunnel this week, and I'm so relieved and so grateful that, you know, we seem to be turning the corner.
Yeah, no, I think it's so. And I mean, the great thing is, I mean, I've got that barrier balm that you've given me as well, and it's so nice on the fingers. You say it gets in here, doesn't it? It's all here.
It does.
Gets all
You really need it. So we've been doing quite a bit of media this week as well, which is so fantastic. One of them was for a trade magazine in the pharmacy industry. So that's obviously going to people that own pharmacies and that kind of thing. Another one was for the gift industry. So they're both trade. But it's all store owners that buy things that are a bit gifty. So they're both trade interviews. But another one was for a consumer magazine, and that magazine goes to a lot of hotels, and it's also online. We know that not a lot of people are staying in hotels at the moment, but I guess it's a really good time to try and think about what your strengths are and see if you can create a newsworthy angle to tell a story about what you're doing in your business and how you're pivoting your business, or you're diversifying what you're doing to cater to these new the new normal with COVID-19. So that's been really good, and I guess it's been, you know, really just trying to create ways of communicating more. We're doing more social media marketing. We've got somebody helping us with our digital planning so that we can be more relevant on digital, because we've been such a traditional sort of brand working with retailers and wholesaling. But it's been really good, and we've been really busy, so I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, oh, that's great news, Catherine. And I think a lot of people are using this opportunity to probably get on top of some of that stuff that they've been meaning to get to, but because of the normal state of business, they find it tricky to get to. It's like at the moment I'm working, you know, with a client, and I'm updating their website, getting all their social media stuff organised, working on an advertising strategy for both digital print media as well. So because they've had trouble getting to it, now they've got the opportunity where they can actually spend the time to dedicate, resources to sit down, let's review it, see where we're at, and that's exactly
it's so true. Yeah. It's a great time for doing all those things that you sort of had on the back burner, and bring them out and do them.
Get around and do them, which of course, and of course you, Helen, having sort of worked in that whole social media space, you're seeing lots of fun things pop up, aren't you?
Oh my gosh. Every time I turn on social media, all of a sudden everyone's an expert on something they know nothing about. You've got these, models or, influencers who are all of a sudden an expert on how to apply makeup, or an expert on skincare, or, an expert on how to cook. Or
it's like me being a skincare expert trying to do photos of cooking. Sorry, Pete.
No, but that's fine. But it's like there are people out there who, I must admit, they are experts on everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Hang on. And a master of nothing.
Yes.
Correct.
I think it depends on the way in which they're doing it. Obviously, we're all trying to share ideas about how to keep busy at home and how to spend time with the kids, and which is all fine, and it's great to see everyone at home doing that.
10 people doing exactly the same thing, and they got the round light, and they're applying their makeup, and then they fast forward it, and look how pretty I look today. So, and it's kind of, oh my God, no, just move on to the next post. So it's quite funny to watch and see, and I love like the 40 plus women or men trying to do their dances on TikTok with their kids.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I know.
And the thing is, my daughter's asked me to do a TikTok with her, a dance with her, and I said, no way, never.
I think that's the thing about having boys, that they don't ask about things like that.
Yes.
But it's like, if I was Lisa Rinna from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and looked as good as that and was dancing since the 1980s and could do it with my kids, absolutely I would, but here's Lisa Rinna, I'm Helen Reiser, I'm not going to do it.
Darling, I would argue that you are far more genuine and authentic than Lisa Rinna, let me tell you, that no disrespect, but you are gorgeous, and I'm sure you have been dancing since the 80s, darling.
She can bust a move as well. You can bust a move as well, Helen.
Well, actually, when in the early 90s, when I used to dance on top of bars, I know, yeah.
Remember the Spanish clubs, and that was the thing, you actually had to dance on the bar.
Yeah, I remember.
I hated that. Who would get on a bar and dance?
I have no idea. No idea.
No,
those were the days.
Yeah, look, TikTok's really becoming the thing, obviously on social media. I actually do enjoy it. I have signed up to it, but only so I can just watch stuff that's going on.
Well, we have actually set the family challenge of the 7 of us and the dog doing a TikTok this week.
Oh my gosh.
We'll report back.
I definitely want to see that.
The problem we have is trying to get everyone in the frame. That's the issue we're going to have, is without someone like losing an eye while we're all trying to do the TikTok. So it'll be interesting to see if the Brady Bunch can actually pull that.
I look forward to seeing it. And look, I have to take my hat off to Trump, who wants to introduce this new vaccine with, what was it, detergent or something?
Disinfectant. Here's me trying to educate the world to use less chemicals, and there's people like that saying, let's put them inside your body, into your bloodstream.
Well, hang on a minute. If we're going to inject our children with detergent or, whatever.
Disinfectant.
What's that's going to do?
I tell you, you're going down a soapy path here, Miss Ryder. You're going down a soapy path. Detergents?
So the idea is that he wants to put Dettol in a syringe, basically, and try and flush our systems out that way.
And I'm just thinking, well, hang on, what's that going to do to our bodies in 10 years? There'll be hormone problems, skin problems, fertility problems.
Breathing problems.
Yes, exactly. I don't think we'll be alive in 10 years to worry about it, because I think
They wanted to, you know, minimise the population of the world. Well, that's a quick way of doing it, isn't it?
Does he honestly think that we're all going to turn around and go, oh my God, why didn't we think of that sooner? What a great idea. Sign me up.
But I have to salute to the sanitisers of everybody that's bringing out a hand sanitizer. We now have an abundance of hand sanitisers, but I have to say, I do take my hat off to some entrepreneurs out there who have managed to do, you know, to take the initiative to actually produce things that are needed, you know, products that are needed currently. And, you know, this week, Darren Mail contacted me and said, look, you know, I've got these amazing, you know, from Pink the Restaurant. He's got these pink vending machines with hand sanitizers in there. He'll have masks, gloves, and things for the future. And he's got his first one in at Chadstone, but they'll be at airports, and he'll just go. And I'm really proud of him. You know, he can't open his restaurant unless they're doing takeaway, which I think they're doing anyway. But just to, you know, to take that initiative and do something that you can put into eventually restaurants and clubs and bars, or, you know, whatever the future, you know, whether it's going to go onto cruise ships or whatever, or it'll be a crucial item to have in your hotel rooms, I guess, in the future.
Well, there's an abundance of sanitizer now available. So for anyone who hasn't done it, they've kind of missed the boat. But for someone like that who's got a novel idea where it's not just the product, it's actually the delivery of the product.
Exactly.
So the novelty and the innovation is in the way he's getting it to consumers, and that can be modified, like you said, to be in so many different areas. So good on him.
I'm very proud of him. So I just wanted to salute some of my clients. But yeah, and you know, and like as I was saying, you know, you've got those that have been doing, like we were talking about Vino Bambino. You know, they've been doing food and pairing with wines for years at all these beautiful events that they put on, these dinners, these gorgeous exclusive dinners for clients. And now they're producing videos doing that because they can't.
They're doing it at home. And this is the thing, like, this is their life. It's not as if it's something that they've created to try and, you know, capture a bit of market. They're actually just being authentic, and they're sharing what they're eating, and they're talking about wine pairing with the food that the family is eating. I just love it. I love what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, no, I agree. I agree.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a bit of a difference, I don't know, in my own opinion, in reality television as well. Because I think at the moment, I mean, certain shows are going, my God, our ratings are so high because everybody's at home, you numbnuts.
Yes.
What's going to happen in 8 months' time? Because I mean, this is what's really fascinating so far. When they actually relax social distancing in Germany, and so far, what's actually happened? A lot of people haven't gone out because they're actually scared to go out.
Yes.
But people will start to spend more time in their backyards, start to spend more time together with families, and the gratitude that people that are authentic will have for each other to spend good quality time.
Yeah.
You know, and I know I'm starting to see a lot of the people, the wannabes, mate, they'll just be left behind.
Yeah.
Because they are not authentic. If you're authentic, man, you've got it covered. You are not trying to be somebody else.
I have to say there was a post done, I'm not going to name and shame, but there was a post horrified me this week, and it was from a foodie. And and it basically said, it was a photo of an amazing dish at a restaurant, and they named the restaurant, and they wrote, my favourite childhood memory is not paying for my food. What does that say about influencers, foodies that are now, you know, restaurants can't afford to have them come for free, you know, and get a takeaway meal? And that actually horrified me, you know. So just bear in mind,
you know, this is the time. This is a time when, if there's anyone that's ever given you anything for free, if you've got an influence, if you have a following, and you can do something to support a small business,
yeah,
actually, you know, this is the time to actually stand up and say, hey, I'm going to share something about this product or service that I love, this food that I love, this dress that I love, but it's really authentic. So this is the time where people can really stand up and make a positive
difference. It's actually real. It's not like you've been given
it's not a paid collaboration, but yes.
And so, you know, any influencers out there who are listening or watching, you know, please help those that
take that on board. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, and
I think we all just
speak today.
It's you. Well, I think that's all good messages. I think, you know, everyone's, we're certainly, and a lot of the people we know are certainly do their best to try and support all their local communities and local businesses as best as we can. Hopefully we are only a few weeks away from at least being able to get out and about a bit more, and hopefully won't be too far off before I get to give you all a big fat hug again very, very soon.
Wait.
Well, we are going to head off again, and we just want to thank you all for tuning in. Please, if during the week you've got a funny story you want to share with us about what you've been up to while you've been cooped up at home, a great initiative that you know about in the community you'd like us to share with everyone, we'd love to hear all about it. But once again, it's been great spending a bit of time with you, and we really appreciate you listening and joining in with Breakfast Table. So thanks everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Okay. Bye.
Bye.